Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the 2013 USCSA National Championships here live from Sun Valley, Idaho, on an epic Saturday afternoon with blue skies, warm temperatures. You couldn't ask for better racing condition as we are set to bring you the second and final run of the men's and women's snowboard giant slalom here on the Greyhawk Trail in the Warm Springs base area of beautiful Sun Valley. Hi everybody, Boss Hogg alongside Alex Beatty, bringing you our final installment of exciting national championship coverage here on the USCSA Broadcast Network. And what a day it has been. We have seen the first ever USCSA National Championship in the dual slalom. Also the first run of the ladies and men's snowboard GS here on the Greyhawk Trail. And now we are back at it again because we are ready to crown a national champion in both the ladies and the men's division for this snowboard GS. Let's take a second to thank our sponsors. The 2013 USCSA National Championships are brought to you in part by Patagonia. Their mission to build the best product, cause no unnecessary harm, and to use business to inspire and implement solutions to the environmental crisis. Learn more at Patagonia.com, proud supporters of the USCSA. And by Reliable Racing. Whether it's alpine and Nordic ski racing apparel and equipment, hill and event supplies, sports timing equipment, or hard-to-find race gear, Reliable Racing is your one-stop shop. Check them out on the web at ReliableRacing.com. And by Hurricane Racing. When it's custom team, alpine, Nordic, or cycling race apparel you seek, Hurricane Racing delivers. Demand the very best in custom printed ski suits, jackets, pants, and race apparel. Demand Hurricane Racing at HurricaneRacing.com, official sponsors of the National Championships. And by Twitchell Sportswear, the home of Yeti apparel. When you're facing truly abominable weather, the Yeti has you covered. Check out their complete collection at TwitchellSportswear.com, proud supporters of the USCSA. A big second run of giant slalom action for the snowboarders here on the Greyhawk Trail. Should be quite exciting. Of course, we take the top 15 racers. We flip their order from the first run, and they'll come down in that order here in run number 2. We will start with the ladies. Of course, Jennifer Longquest will be our first out of the box from the University of Virginia. McKinley Carboni, Claire Canapel, Colleen Herman, and Kim Ellison. They'll be followed by Felicia Sturgeon, Ashley Vandermeer, Lexi Sonor, Jenna Mixon, and Kelsey McGorris. And then the top 5 fastest from the first run, Ann Benda, Claire Gentili, Kaylee Taylor, Janice Spiteri, and our leader after round 1 with a time of 52:20, Bonnie Plostiner. Plostiner going for her first national title here from Boston College. And Alex, this should be a heck of a run for the ladies and the men on this Greyhawk Trail this afternoon.
Absolutely, boss. The name of the game is consistency. Can Bonnie Plostiner hold up her time here? She's ahead by a whopping 4 seconds. So if she can maintain that, if she can ride consistently in this second run, she has a shot at a national championship. Our 4 runners are now coming down the course, checking out the course, getting ready. They'll radio up any information to the top, make any final adjustments from our course setters, and we should be underway here momentarily for round number 2. We're going to run the ladies first, then we'll run the men. But 2 national titles now up for grabs here on our final installment of broadcasting. We appreciate you joining us on the World Wide Web at USCSA.com as we are finishing up over 25 hours of live broadcasting here from Sun Valley. And we hope you have enjoyed a great day of ski racing and snowboard racing here from Sun Valley. I don't think it gets much better than this, Alex Beatty. Warm temperatures, probably 35 degrees, maybe 36 degrees by now. The sun shining brightly here, although the shadows are starting to set here in the late part of the afternoon. Absolutely, boss. Almost t-shirt skiing conditions here. The sun has really come out. It's gotten very warm, balmy outside, and this race course is just going to get torn up by these athletes who will be grinding and shredding away any powder left on the surface. Looks like they have definitely changed the set here for run number 2, as it really
hugged the skier or rider's left side of the Greyhawk Trail. Of course, this trail, just an enormously wide race trail. I mean, you could land a plane sideways on this thing. They've now brought the racers out of the start shack all the way to the center of the run where they run them down, and then about 8 gates past the top third of the course, they swing them wildly back to the rider's left. So they'll have to use a hard left-hand turn to make it from the blue gate to the red gate in the transition between the top third to the center section.
Absolutely, boss. And then into the bottom as they're riding all the way to the right side of the course, a demanding left-hand turn there. That blue gate, probably 3 blue gates from the bottom there, really have to set that edge and let it carry them across the course down to the other side and to the finish line.
Once they get into the lower third, they make their way around the dual slalom jump that we got to see the ladies and the men navigate earlier on today on the USCSA Broadcast Network, and then into the final 3 gates and across the stripe. We are underway now. It's McKinley Carboni from the College of Idaho wearing bib number 5. She is on course.
Had a little bit of trouble there at the start, boss. Just 3 gates in, she was down, but she's back up now. Really picking up speed. She's going to have to pour it on if she wants a shot at the title here.
They call her Chucky Carboni. She is the definition of the yote. Great to see the yotes represented here in Sun Valley all week in all of the sports. And Chucky Carboni now making her way into the final 6 gates here in run number 2 of the Ladies Championship GS. McKinley Carboni now with 3 gates to go. She was 15th fastest after the first run, and across the stripe comes McKinley Chucky Carboni. The great thing about being number 1 down in the second run, Alex, is you are atop the leaderboard. That's where Carboni sits right now.
Absolutely, boss. If the race ended right now, she'd walk away with the gold, but of course many racers yet to come. I'm sure she'll be watching all of them very closely.
One of them is University of Virginia's Claire Canapel. She qualified 14th fastest in the first run with a 104.15. She's wearing bib number 1. She'll be followed by Colleen Herman from Marquette, and now Kim Ellison from Appalachian State University awaits her second run from the start shack. Now coming into our view, it is Claire Canapel from Virginia. Canapel with 8 gates to go. She'll need to beat a combined time of 2:02.51 from Chucky Carboni from the College of Idaho to take the lead. Remember, we take the times from the first run, we add them to the second run, and that will determine our ladies national champion here today. Across the stripe, it's Claire Canapel, and a combined time of 2:22.11, not good enough to take over Carboni. So it's Carboni and Canapel now on your leaderboard. But Marquette's Colleen Harriman wants to change things. Harriman, 13th fastest after the first run, and now making her way into the final 3 gates. Here comes Colleen Harriman from Marquette University, and across the stripe with a combined time of 2:02.96, good enough for second. So if everyone else falls, we do have a podium here in the ladies' final. It is Carboni, Harriman, and Canapel in your first 3 slots.
Colleen Harriman, the senior from Marquette, wants to thank her teammates that have supported her throughout her racing career. 4 years of snowboarding for Marquette. Marquette, of course, fielding a strong team at this year's Nationals.
Now it's Kim Ellison from Appalachian State University, the Mountaineer, across the stripe in a combined time of 1:58.71. And now it's Kim Ellison in the lead with a great run, stringing 2 together from Boone, North Carolina. The App State Mountaineers well represented here today in the women's GS.
Senior Kim Ellison, originally from Chantilly, Virginia, with the fastest second run by far so far. She had a full 2 seconds faster than the number 2 fastest run, so a great time, and that's the time to beat right now.
Now 4 gates to go for Jenna Caruso from UCLA. Caruso, 11th fastest after the first run. She wants to pick it up and take the lead. Can she do it? Yes, she does. Jenna Caruso from UCLA now in the lead with a combined time of 1:56.88. So it's Caruso, Ellison, Carboni, Herman, and Canapel in your top 5.
Jenna Caruso, the senior from UCLA, 4th overall at California Regional. She's definitely a contender here, boss.
Now from the Air Force Academy, flying high, wearing bib 8, it's Felicia Sturgeon. Sturgeon, 10th fastest after the morning session. She wants to try to pour it on here into the final gate. And across the stripe comes Felicia Sturgeon with a combined time of 2:00.17, good enough for 3rd place. Great to see the Air Force Academy flying high here in Sun Valley, Idaho. as we bring you the second run of the women's and men's Snowboard GS. Now making her way outside of the center section into the lower third comes Ashley Vandermeer from Sierra Nevada College wearing bib 23. She was 9th fastest after the first run, trying to pick up some time here in the final 3 gate. Here comes Ashley Vandermeer from Sierra Nevada College and across the stripe in a time of 1:56.90. Not good enough for the lead, but good enough for second. So Jenna Caruso from UCLA still your leader. Sierra Nevada's Ashley Vandermeer in second. Appalachian State's Kim Ellison in third. Felicia Sturgeon from the Air Force Academy in fourth. And rounding out your top 5 from the College of Idaho, it's McKinley Carboni. Now Lexi Sinor from Westminster College. Into the final 4 gates comes Sinor. She had a good run, 0074 in the first run, good enough for 8th. Will she be able to pick up some time here? Lexi Sinor crosses the stripe in 1:57.86, good enough for 3rd place. So it's Caruso, Vandermeer, and Sinor, your top 3 so far. Still the fastest 7 ladies to come, including the University of California at Berkeley's Jenna Mixon. Mixon on course, now making her way out of the center section into the lower third. She'll be followed by Michigan State University's Kelsey Magoris. And Ann Benda from Northeastern University awaits number 2 at the top. Meanwhile, here at the bottom, 2 gates to go for Mixon. Mixon now into the tuck and across the stripe in a combined time of 1:52.99. And it's good enough for the lead. The University of California from Berkeley, Jenna Mixon, your current leader here in the Ladies Championship Snowboard GS. Wearing bib 13 from Michigan State University, Kelsey Magorisk. She was 6th fastest after the first run, and she's down. Magorisk is down on the snow, a tough break for Magorisk. She needed to keep the run going in order to have a chance for a podium here today, and it looks like Magorisk still on her side. They're going to go check her out. Now she's back up. So Magorisk is going to take a break and try to complete this run, but that is going to be the end of any hopes for a podium for Kelsey Magorisk. A tough break for the Michigan State Spartan.
Absolutely, boss. She had some trouble there just on the 3rd gate, and that can really be disheartening when you're looking at the rest of a course that she'll have to ski. She looks like she really wants to finish here. She wants to place at the national championships, and it's great to see that kind of sportsmanship. She knows she can't win, but she's putting it all on the line anyway, so really fantastic work by Kelsey Magorisk.
Now Magorisk across the stripe from Michigan State University, and a great finish for Magorisk. 2:37.37, but most importantly, Magorisk completes a national championship run here in Sun Valley. Now back to live action, wearing bib 7 from Northeastern University, Ann Benda. Benda was 4th fastest after the first run with a 56.77. She can smell a national title here. Anything can happen with only 3 racers to come after Ann Benda. Benda from Northeast University now into the lower third. 8 gates to go for Benda. She'll be followed by Westminster's Claire Gentili, who's now dropped in from the top. But it's Ann Benda from Northeastern. Here into the final 4 gate comes Ann Benda. Benda wants to hit a podium here at the finals. Can she do it? 2 gates to go for Benda. Now across the stripe in a time of 2:03.41. And problems obviously high above the trail for Benda that we could not see. Only good enough for 9th position. So Jenna Mixon from Berkeley, still your leader, followed by Jenna Caruso. 4 of the fastest racers still to come, including Claire Gentili, who's now into the final 4 gates. Gentili was 4th fastest after the morning session. She can smell a podium too. And now into the tuck across the stripe comes Westminster Cottage Claire Gentili, and she takes the lead with a 1:47.44. Lightning fast, the fastest run of the second session here with a 50.67. And Claire Gentili from Westminster College, your current leader here in the Ladies Championship Final. Now making her way into the lower third from Loyola Marymount University, it's Kaylee Taylor. Kaylee Taylor with the 3rd fastest time in the morning session of 56.12. She wants a podium as well. Here comes Kaylee Taylor with 3 gates to go. Will it be enough to take the lead from Claire Gentili? Across the stripe comes Taylor, and no! Only good enough for 2nd place for Kaylee Taylor. So Claire Gentili still holding on to the lead from Westminster. Taylor from Loyola Marymount in 2nd. It's Berkeley's Jenna Mixon in 3rd. UCLA's Jenna Caruso in 4th. And rounding out your top 5 from Sierra Nevada College, it's Ashley Vandermeer. Janice Spiteri from Sierra Nevada College wants to change it all. She was the second fastest. She wants a national title. Here comes Janice Spiteri from Sierra Nevada College. And across the stripe, Spiteri comes and good enough for first place. Yes, Janice Spiteri from Sierra Nevada College, your new leader. Here with just the fastest racer to go, Boston College's Bonnie Blosteiner. She was first fastest with a 52.20. She has a big lead. She is riding well now. Here comes Bonnie Blosteiner from Boston College. A national title within her grasp with 4 gates to go. All she has to do is keep it clean. Into the final gate comes Bonnie Blosteiner. Will it be enough for a national title? Yes! Bonnie Blosteiner from Boston College winning the 2013 USCSA Women's National Title in the Snowboard Giant Slalom. What an incredible 2-run string together by Bonnie Blosteiner from Boston College. Alex, it does not get any better than that.
Pure domination, boss. Bonnie Blosteiner throwing down the fastest first run and the fastest second run. Almost 9 seconds separating her from second place. So clear victory there for Bonnie Blosteiner. And wow, boss, just an amazing 2 runs there.
The day belonging to Bonnie Blosteiner from Boston College. The first fastest time, the second fastest time. It was all Blosteiner today here on the Greyhawk Trail in Sun Valley. So congratulations to Bonnie Blosteiner from Boston College. She is your new national champion in the women's giant slalom snowboard competition. Now back to live action. University of Virginia's Jennifer Lonnquist on course. She'll be followed by Lacey Valandry. And from Westminster College, it's Allie Appleton in the start shack awaiting run number 1. Meanwhile, Jennifer Lonnquist from University of Virginia across the stripe into 12.10. So a good 2 runs for Lonnquist. Now it's James Madison University's Lacey Valandry. Valandry out of the top section, middle section, and into the lower third with 5 gates to go. She'll be followed by Allie Appleton, who's now on course from Westminster. Meanwhile, here at the bottom, riding well, it's Lacey Valandry from James Madison and across the stripe in a time of 1:55.34. A great run for James Madison University's Lacey Valandry, good enough for 6th position. So coming out of the 17th fastest time in the first run, Lacey Valandry throws down the 2nd fastest time just right behind the winner, Bonnie Blosteiner, and she is able to move up. That rarely happens, Alex. As you see ladies that are not inside the flip be able to come in and puncture and penetrate the top 10 positions.
Absolutely, boss. She's moved up to 6th overall, so a fantastic finish for Lacey Valandry, the freshman from James Madison University. I'm sure we'll see her in years to come.
Now Allie Appleton across the stripe in 2:05.32. A great run for Allie Appleton from Westminster College, and her teammate, now wearing bib number 11, Cassie Davis, on course, making her way out of the center section into the lower third. But a big day for Bonnie Blosteiner from Boston College, picking up the hardware and a national title. She's followed by Janice Spiteri from Sierra Nevada College and Claire Gentili from Westminster. Cassie Davis now from Westminster into the final gate wearing bib 11th, 19th fastest after the morning run, and she crosses the stripe in a 2:08.30. Good enough for 16th place for Cassie Davis.
Cassie Davis, the freshman representing Westminster College here at this race. Westminster with a fantastic squad assembled by coaches Ross Baker, Scotty Pike, and Sarah Beaudry. Really a phenomenal performance in today's race. They've got racers sitting in 2nd, 9th, and in 16th right now. So as a team performing very strongly in today's race.
Rebecca Ashley from Sierra Nevada College, 20th fastest after the first run. She's on course. She'll be followed by Michelle Martin from Virginia, who's now just dropped in.
Sierra Nevada, of course, taking home the gold today in the ladies dual slalom. I'm sure they'd love another here in the ladies snowboard GS.
Rebecca Ashley from Sierra Nevada into the final 5 gates comes Ashley. Very difficult and technical course here in run number 2. The set certainly looks to be a lot tougher than run number 1. Not to mention that it moves in and out of the shadows, so you've got snow changing conditions as well as a result of the heat spots versus the cold spots. While Rebecca Ashley from Sierra Nevada crosses in 2:36.88. Michelle Martin from University of Virginia, the Cavalier, on course. 21st fastest after the first run. She'll be followed by James Madison University's Brittany Sacco. Sacco then will be followed by Sarah Silver, the local hometown favorite, the Ute from the College of Idaho, who's now on course. 3 gates to go for Michelle Martin from Virginia. And now the Cavalier across the stripe in a time of 2:18.85, good enough for 18th position. Right behind her comes Brittany Sacco. James Madison University's Brittany Sacco trying to stay low to the snow. The center of gravity, very important here in giant slalom snowboard racing. And Brittany Sacco, a great second run, 2:12.06, good enough for 17th place for James Madison University's Brittany Sacco.
And the final collegiate Snowboard GS for senior Brittany Sacco of James Madison, a geology and environmental science major from Yonkers, New York. She has to be pleased. She threw down a great second run, 13th fastest, and she will go home knowing that she brought everything she had here to the 2012 National Championships.
Sarah Silver from the College of Idaho, now wearing bib number 26. It is 2013, by the way, Alex. Across the stripe is Sarah Silver, the Yote, in a time of 2:15.91. A great performance from Sarah Silver. And congratulations to all of the College of Idaho racers here today. They have put on one heck of a show for us in Sun Valley. Back to live action wearing bib 4 from the University of Michigan, it's Margaret Murphy. Murphy was 24th fastest after the first run. Now she makes her way into the final 6 gates. She'll be followed by Jenna Gowell from Lafayette College. 3 gates to go now for Murphy. Murphy trying to get a top 20 here. Can she move up with 2 gates to go? Here comes Margaret Murphy from the University of Michigan and across the stripe in a combined time of 2:15. Check that, 2:21.48, good enough for 21st place. Jenna Gowell from Lafayette College now on course. She'll be followed by Claire Zalinzi from Stevens Institute of Technology. And Sierra Nevada's Kelsey Madro awaits run number 2 from the top start shack. Bonnie Blosteiner from Boston College, your national champion here in the ladies Snowboard GS. She's followed by Sierra Nevada's Janice Spiteri in second. Claire Gentili from Westminster College in the 3rd slot. 4th going to Loyola Marymount's Kaylee Taylor. And rounding out your top 5 here today from the University of California at Berkeley, Jenna Mixon. Back to live action with 2 gates to go. Jenna Cowell from Lafayette College. She tucks and crosses the stripe in a combined time of 2:38.59. So a good run for Jenna Gowell from Lafayette.
Freshman Jenna Gowell, originally from Amherst, New Hampshire, placed 2nd in the New Jersey Conference this season, and she feels she owes it to her teammates, which have really given her support and taught her how to be confident, taking her under their wing, and it's really great to see that kind of teamwork here and team support in this event, boss.
Across the stripe, it is Claire Zalinzi from Stevens Institute of Technology in a time of 2:35.41. Of course, if you ever need to figure out any type of algebraic or calculus equation, you can just contact Claire Zalinzi. She will help you out. I can only imagine all the SIT grads can do any kind of math problems ever given to them. Sarah Godish now from the Air Force Academy on course into the final 4 gate. She'll be followed by Bridget Montgomery from UVA. Having to scrape some speed here in the final 2 gates is Sarah Godish, but she will complete her run from the Air Force Academy, flying high with a 2:50.65, good enough for 27th position. Now moving well through the center portion, making the transition into the lower 3rd is Bridget Montgomery from the University of Virginia, the Cavalier. She'll be followed by Sarah Zinnemann from Penn State. 5 gates to go for Montgomery. Bridget Montgomery from the University of Virginia now making her way into the final tuck, and across the stripe comes, no, check that. That is Penn State University's Sarah Zinnemann. Bridget Montgomery had ridden out of the course as a DNF. So as I was telling you, it was Bridget Montgomery. Well, let's take a look here. As our timer gets things situated, we'll make sure we do too before we give you the wrong information. Thanks for joining us here on the USCSA Broadcast Network. Boss Hogg and Alex Beatty bringing it to you live late in the afternoon here in Sun Valley. But still a gorgeous day. Bluebird skies, warm temperatures, a great afternoon. as we have had lots of action here on the Greyhawk Trail, the Alpine venue all week long, as we saw the men's and women's giant slalom on Tuesday and Wednesday, the men's and women's slalom on Thursday and Friday, and back here today for the dual slalom for both the girls and the boys, and the giant slalom for the snowboarders. It was indeed Bridget Montgomery from UVA who came across the stripe, so check that. It looks like now Sarah Zinnemann from Penn State University, and Zinnemann wearing bib number 19 across in 3:21.84. And it looks like right behind her is Sydney DeNoyer from Michigan State University. So packed up here as someone got off course and got back on right in time. But Sydney DeNoyer from Michigan State University, the Spartan, in a time of 2:51.36 is good enough for 28th place.
Absolutely, boss. A steeplechase near the finish as Sydney DeNoyer of Michigan almost overtook Sarah Zinnemann of Penn State. Sydney DeNoyer, the freshman out of Michigan, was excited to be a part of the Michigan State University team that took first place at regionals this year. Tremendous accomplishment for a strong team coming out of Michigan State.
UCLA's Christy Fleming, 3:05.75, good enough for 30th place. Jamie Vincent now on course, wearing bib number 41 from Westminster College. She'll be followed by Appalachian State University's Shannon Hildebrand.
Christy Fleming, the senior out of UCLA, originally from Tulane, California, would like to thank her mom for getting her started on skis and snowboard at the age of 4. Hard to imagine, right, boss? I can't imagine getting a kid or even being that kid that's out on the slopes at age 4. That's really a tremendous effort.
I think we read in some ski racing magazine recently, Alex, they've got a program now at one of the mountains, a freestyle program which teaches the kids how to huck themselves onto the rails and the bars and over the steps and off hits, and they start them at 3 years old. So I'll tell you, anybody is ready to get on a pair of skis or put a snowboard on and make their way down any type of surface with snow. It is the most fun you've ever had. Folks, if you've never participated in winter snow sports before, you need to start. Nothing better than this. As we see Jamie Vincent from Westminster College make her way across in 3:53.14. Completing 2 runs here at a national championship is a feat in itself. Certainly just qualifying for nationals a feat, and Jamie Vincent has successfully completed both, so congratulations to her. That's going to do it here for all of our lady racers in the second run of the women's giant slalom competition. And congratulations to Bonnie Plausteiner from Boston College. She wins her first national championship here, and we will hand her the gold medal later on today at our awards ceremony for the ladies giant slalom snowboard competition. We'll stay right here and keep the action live to you from the Greyhawk Trail in beautiful Warm Springs area of Sun Valley, Idaho. As we get ready to launch the men for run number 2, we are going to crown a national champion here in the men's competition as well. Of course, Robert Burns with the fastest time from the University of Idaho in the first run, 42.19, but just 1/100th of a second slower. In second place from Westminster College, it's Thomas Graham. He finished second after run number 2. Then it's Austin Leal in the third slot from the Sierra Nevada College, 42.84, just 6/10 behind Graham. Samuel Rain from the Air Force Academy. Will it be a day for the high flyers from the Air Force? We'll find out. He was 4th with a 45.31. He'll need to make up some time here, but we are started. And Hunter Knoll from Western State College in Colorado is on course, wearing bib number 32, now making his way into the final 4 gate. He was 15th fastest after the first run, and across the stripe it is Hunter Knoll with a time of 1:51.77. And guess what it means when you come down first in run number 2 of a national championship? It means you are our leader. So atop the podium right now, it's Hunter Knoll from Western State College. Duke University's Matt Seehausen qualified 14th fastest after the first run, making his way into the final 4 gates. Riding well is Duke Seehausen, and now Seehausen across the stripe in a 150.97, good enough to take the lead. So your leader, Matt Seehausen, the Blue Devil. He's followed by Hunter Knoll. Still the fastest 13 riders to come. Owen Golden from Westminster College now making the transition out of the center section to the lower third, holding on to that edge as long as he could. He had to scrape some speed, but he did not give it up, and he still has good momentum as he makes his way through the final 4 gates here. Let's hear it for Owen Golden. Golden now from Westminster College into the final 2 gates, and he keeps his center of gravity low and tucks across the stripe. It's Owen Golden, and Golden with a 157.27. Good enough for 3rd place. So we've got a podium. Matt Seehausen, your current leader from Duke. He's followed by Western State College's Hunter Knoll, and then it's Owen Golden from Westminster College in 3rd. Still the fastest 12 riders to come, including James Madison University's Frank Dodd. Now Dodd swinging wide here into the final 8 gates. He had to scrape a lot of speed to make the red gate. Now he's back on course. Things pick up here into the final 5 gates with a pitch change. It's relatively steep. It gets some speed, Alex Beatty, and 3 gates to go for Frank Dodd from James Madison. Will it be enough to take over the lead from Seehausen as he crosses the stripe in a 2:02.40? Not enough. 4th place for Frank Doss.
Still a solid run there, and he was pleased with it. You can see as he punched the air in excitement, making it down his 2nd run, and he's got to be happy with that, boss. Finishing 2 runs of this Snowboard GS is no easy task.
11th fastest after run 1. It's Marco Gooding from Sierra Nevada College into the final 3 gates. Will he have enough to overtake Matt Seehausen? And now he crosses the stripe and does. Your new leader from Sierra Nevada College, it is Marco Gooding. The Eagles flying high here today in all kinds of disciplines at the 2013 USCSA National Championships. Marco Gooding, your current leader. But the University of California, Berkeley's Bryce DeWeese wants to change it all. 10th fastest after the morning run. Here comes Bryce DeWeese from Berkeley. Will it be enough to take over Gooding's 1st place slot? Yes, it is. 144.90. And your new leader from the University of California, Berkeley, it's Bryce DeWeese. Now it's Daniel Pear on course from Stanford. Qualified 9th fastest after the 1st run. Still the fastest 9 to come. With 6 gates to go, it's Daniel Pear from Stanford. Appalachian State University's Taylor Bridges now on course at the top. With 3 gates to go, it's Daniel Pear from Stanford. Pear wants to take the lead away from DeWeese. He crosses the stripe in a 143.80 and does. Your new leader, Daniel Pear from Stanford University. Pear in the top slot, followed by Bryce DeWeese from Berkeley. Marco Gooding in 3rd from Sierra Nevada. It's Matt Seehausen, the Blue Devil from Duke in 4th. And rounding out your top 5 from Western State, Colorado, Hunter Knoll. Here comes Appalachian State University's Taylor Bridges. Bridges from Boone, North Carolina, and the Mountaineer. And he takes the lead. The Dirty South now representing from Boone, North Carolina, as App State's Taylor Bridges, your new leader, with a time of 142.85. Fast and furious action here in the men's 2nd run, the final. We are going to crown a national champion here shortly. Who's it going to be? Will it be Cameron Kalinda as Kalinda makes his way into the final 2 gates from Sierra Nevada College? Here comes Cameron Kalinda, and across the stripe in 135.39, your new leader. Cameron Kalinda looked fast the whole way, and he's got a time to show. Kalinda now in the lead, Bridges in 2nd, Pear in 3rd. But University of California at San Diego's Gabe Maines wants to change it all. 6th fastest after the 1st run, and he is moving well here as he makes a transition into the lower 3rd. 8 gates to go for Gabe Maines from San Diego. He'll be followed by Danny Kern from Sierra Nevada. But now with 4 gates to go, it's Gabe Maines. Will Maines have enough to make it across the stripe? Yes, he's in, and he is your new leader. Gabe Maines from the University of California, San Diego, atop the leaderboard here in the men's 2nd run in the final national championship for the men's giant slalom snowboard. Danny Kern from Sierra Nevada College, the Eagle, wearing bib 42, 5th fastest after the 1st run with a 48.79. Now Danny Kane is having a tough time and a tough break for Kane. It could be the end of his day. Kane now having to hike for a gate. He's lost all of the momentum, and he will need it to get on the podium. Danny Kane's going to have to let it all hang out, ladies and gentlemen, here as he makes his way into the lower 3rd. Danny Kane struggling in the center part of the course. Now he's back to full speed and momentum, but will it be enough to catch up? He came to a complete stop, Alex. He's going to have to really pour it on here in the final 4 gates Danny Kern from Sierra Nevada College into the final 2 gates, and across the stripe comes Kern. And Kern good enough for 3rd place, 140-172. So a great recovery for Danny Kern, but tough luck in the middle of this run.
Absolutely, boss. A really tough break there with the fall, but he took advantage of the fact that he fell right above an undergate, so he was able to pick up a lot of speed there, which he could then carry into the rest of the course.
Now Samuel Rain through the same section, flying high from the Air Force Academy, wearing bib number 21. He was 4th fastest after the first run with a 45.31. Sam Rain wants a podium today. He is moving well as he makes his way into the final 6 gates. Here comes Samuel Rain from the Air Force Academy with 3 gates to go. Will it be enough for Rain as he crosses the stripe into the corral? Yes, sir. 125.87, and Samuel Rain, your new leader here in run number 2 of the Men's National Championship. Austin Leal qualifying 3rd fastest earlier this morning. Here comes the big boys now. They're all bunched together. It's anybody's race. Sierra Nevada College's Austin Leal wearing bib number 8, a 42.84 in the first run. And it looks, no, he's made his way around. He's still got good speed. We lost him in the shadows, Alex Beatty, but now he's back in division. 8 gates to go for Austin Leal. Sierra Nevada College's Austin Leal. Will he be able to hit a podium? He needs a good finish here. 3 gates to go. Here comes Austin Leal from Sierra Nevada College, and your new leader, Austin Leal, atop the leaderboard with just 2 racers to go. So it's Leal, Rain, Maines, Kalinda, and Kern. Kern in the 5th spot, still the fastest 2 to come. Thomas Graham from Westminster College. He wants a national title. He can smell it from the top of this run. Now through the center section into the lower 3rd comes Thomas Graham from Westminster. Westminster College's Thomas Graham, a 42.20 in the first run. He'll need to pour it on with 10 gates to go. Here comes Thomas Graham from Westminster College, moving like a tremendous machine into the final 5 gates. Will it be enough for Thomas Graham? Westminster College wants Thomas Brand to win a national title. Will he take the lead? Yes! 121.95. Your new leader, Thomas Graham from Westminster College. Only 1 racer faster to come down. He's the leader by 1/100th of a second from the University of Idaho. Robert Burns wearing bib number 3. Will it be the local hometown favorite taking home a national title today? He's going to have to pour it on to overtake Thomas Graham from Westminster College, and he is moving well. Look at Robert Burns from the University of Idaho. Here comes Burns into the final 5 gates. Thomas Graham at the bottom awaits the results. Will it be enough for Burns? Burns into the final tuck and across the stripe. Will Burns be our new national champion? Yes! Robert Burns from the University of Idaho, your new national champion here for the men's giant slalom snowboard competition. Burns used everything he had, Alex Beatty, and he has made an incredible 2nd run here. He is going to take home the hardware tonight. Your new national champion, the local kid from the University of Idaho.
Absolutely, boss. What a performance. Skiing in the hard boot made all the difference for Robert Burns. He did very well, riding the course like a champion. With the fastest first run, the fastest second run, it's as simple as that, boss. He is taking home the gold today.
Still a very close race as Robert Burns only winning and beating Thomas Graham by, well, it looks to be 7/10 of a second. So a great close race between the 2 rocket ships, University of Idaho's Robert Burns and Westminster College's Thomas Graham. So congratulations, the day belongs to Robert Burns. From the University of Idaho, he is winning his first national title right here on his home mountain at Sun Valley on the Greyhawk Trail. Boy, I don't think it gets any better than that. That is a hometown win for the hometown crowd.
And what a way to close out these national championships, boss. A win for the University of Idaho. Great to see that here, and great to see Idaho taking home the gold at Sun Valley.
Now back to live action. Appalachian State University's Cameron Harrod on course, followed by his teammate Drew Cook. The Boone, North Carolina Monsters are coming down this big, steep Greyhawk run over here in the Warm Springs base area of Sun Valley. As we watch Cameron Harrod, the Mountaineer. And now 2 gates to go for Cameron Harrod from Appalachian State. And he crosses the stripe in a time of 2:12.55, good enough for 16th place. Great performances from the App State team here today in Sun Valley.
USCSA Top Chef Cameron Harrett, the senior from Kingston, Ontario, competing in his first national championships, and he's got to be pleased, boss. 2 solid runs. He was definitely a force to be reckoned with.
Drew Cook, his teammate, also from App State, now across in 2:07.28. They'll be followed by the University of Virginia's Zach Harker, who's on course. And now Marquette's Patrick Van Horn has dropped in. Looks like a tough turn right there for Zach Harker as he makes the transition. He is going to have to crawl for that red gate. He'll be able to build some more speed up, but that certainly ends the momentum of this run. Zach Harker, the Virginia Cavalier, now into the final 4 gates he comes. And Patrick Van Horn from Marquette University will follow. Across the stripe, it's Zach Harker from the University of Virginia, the Cavalier in 2:03.96, good enough for 16. Pat Van Horn now from Marquette. Van Horn now on course. You see him coming down here. Hope you're enjoying our video coverage live from Sun Valley. All part of 25 hours of broadcasting excellence here from the USCSA Broadcast Network. Pat Van Horn from Marquette now across the stripe into the finish corral with a time of 1:59.87. Good enough for 15th place. Alessandro Recchia from Duke, the Blue Devil, now is moving well through the center part of the course, dropping into the lower third. He has not had to scrape a lot of speed at all. It'll be interesting to see the time here. Recchia might have had some problems high above the course, but certainly the portion of the course we're able to see from our vantage point, he looks good. Strong and smooth is Alessandro Recchia from Duke University. The Blue Devils here in the men's giant slalom snowboard final. 3 gates to go for Recchia. Recchia looking really good and fast as he crosses the stripe in a 2:04.11. So he did indeed have a little bit of trouble up at the top of the run, but he made up for it and gave us all a show here at the bottom of this men's GS final.
Absolutely, boss. A solid performance there at the bottom of the course. You could see him moving from edge to edge. All important. These snowboarders, of course, very interesting to note here. You know, a very different maneuver required for left turns and right turns. Much different than you see in ski racing, where the form is similar. Of course, racers on their toes to turn one way, on their heels to turn another. Different muscles involved there, boss, and it's interesting to watch them pull it off.
Now it's David Onspach from the University of California, Fresno. Onspach, a great competitor here in the 2013 USCSA National Championships, his first nationals. He is happy to be here. I got a chance to ride with him on the airplane from LAX up here to Sun Valley. A great kid, and you're going to see great things from California Fresno's David Onspach, wearing bib number 7, crossing the stripe in a 2:06.78. Now it's Stephen Institute of Technology's Richard Wengenroth. He's got 4 gates to go. He'll be followed by Westminster's Mal Pryor, and then it's the Virginia Cavalier Benjamin Pekas. 2 gates to go, 1 now across the stripe. It's Richard Wengenroth from Stevens Institute of Technology with a combined time of 1:57.35. Good enough for 15th position. So way back in the pack, Alex Beatty, Richard Wengenroth throws together a pretty hot time and moves himself up to 15th slot.
Absolutely, boss, and no surprises there. Richard Wengenroth, the senior from Stevens Institute of Technology, has competed in 3 national championships before, finishing 8th both in 2011 and 2012. So a solid competitor and a great 4 years of snowboarding for Richard Wengenroth.
Mal Pryor from Westminster College now across the stripe at a 1:52.29. He'll be followed by Ben Pekas from the University of Virginia. Also now on course, Mitchell Bechtold from UCLA. He'll be followed by the Air Force Academy's Dylan Glenner. But the day definitely belongs to Robert Burns from the University of Idaho, winning his first national title here in the men's Snowboard GS. He's followed by Westminster's Thomas Grand in 2nd, Austin Leal from Sierra Nevada in 3rd, Sam Rain from the Air Force Academy in 4th, and rounding out your top 5 from California, San Diego, it's Gabe Maines. Now back to live action, Ben Pekas from UVA, the Cavalier across the stripe in 2:04 flat. Now it's Mitchell Bechtold from UCLA wearing bib 26, 24th fastest after the first run here this morning. And Bechtold making his way into the final lower third here of this Greyhawk Trail. A really tricky course here. You have to keep the momentum going. And you know what I found, Alex Beatty, is a lot of these racers are really, they seem to be cutting the gates just a little too close. In order to keep speed on this course, especially with the pitch that we have here, you really kind of have to swing these turns out wide.
Absolutely, boss. You have to be early on every single one of these turns if you want to set yourself up for the next one. A tight course here, especially at the bottom.
Mitchell Bechtold from UCLA across the stripe in 219.98. A good two-run combo for Mitchell Bechtold. We'll see lots more from him from UCLA in the future. Dylan Glenner wearing bib 35 from the Air Force Academy, now on course. He'll be followed by Stevens Institute of Technology's Mark Russi.
Mitchell Bechtold, the junior from UCLA, originally from Dunkirk, Maryland, and as a child of Maryland myself, it's great to see so many Maryland athletes out here today. Of course, Maryland not known for its snow sports, boss.
Dylan Glenner from the Air Force Academy now into the finish corral with a time of 1:59.64. From SIT, Stevens Institute, it is Mark Russi now wearing bib 27. He was 27th fastest after the first run. Let's see if he can make up some time as he makes his way into the final four gate. Here comes Mark Russi from Stevens Institute of Technology. And across into the finish corral with a time of 1:59.15. Good enough for 17th place for Mark Russi. Now it's Appalachian State University's Byron Dollar. Dollar wearing bib 81, 28th fastest after the first run. He wants to make up some time too. And now he's down. He's down and he's into the fencing. Looks like he's going to get back up, but he's had to scrape all the speed. Let's see what happens to Byron Dollar's time, the Mountaineer from Boone, North Carolina and Appalachian State University. Across the stripe comes Byron Dollar and a 2:06.88. A tough break for Dollar as he had a good run going, but with 6 gates to go, it looks like he slipped out that inside edge and took a ride on his posterior for just a short period of time. Congratulations to Byron Dollar from App State. A great 2-run combo for Dollar. Now it's Colorado, California State University of Sacramento. Alex Peck now across the stripe, bib number 11. He was 19th, 29th fastest after the first run, had the 19th fastest second run time, and currently sits in 20th position with a combined time of 2:01.79. Grady Shoup now from Western State College of Colorado. 30th fastest after the morning session, now into the final four gates. He'll be followed by Madison Hedgecock. Here comes Grady Shoup. Grady Shoup now into the final gate and across into the finish corral. It's Shoup with a time of 1:58.72, good enough for 17th place. So that's a good move from Grady Shoup as he came out of 30th position into 17th position. You'll certainly like that improvement in run number 2. Madison Hedgecock now from the University of California, San Diego, wearing bib 33. Into the final 5 gates, he'll be followed by the Virginia Cavalier, Mitchell Oliver. 3 gates to go for Madison Hedgecock. And now Hedgecock across the stripe in a time of 2:04.64. And a good 2-run combo for Madison Hedgecock from the University of California, San Diego.
Madison Hedgecock, a senior from San Diego, an economics major. Of course, University of California, San Diego racing without a coach this year. It's impressive to see this performance by these athletes without a coach. Coaching, of course, vital in the sport, and they've really done very well today, boss.
Nice to see Robert Dean crossing, Mitchell Oliver crossing the stripe from the University of Virginia in 1:59.74. Now on course, we're watching Robert Dean from California State, Sacramento, I believe. Yep, California State University in Sacramento. He'll be followed by Grant Killer from Westminster College. Now across the stripe, it's Robert Dean. Dean with a combined time of 2:02 flat. Good enough for 23rd position. Westminster College is now on course. Grant Killer. Jason Adams will be next from UVA. Grant Killer now making his way from the red to the blue, back to the red again. Trying to keep the speed going, but having to scrape. It looks like it's slippery there in the shadows, Alex Beatty, as the sun is intermittent across this Greyhawk Trail. Grant Killer, though, he doesn't mind, and he crosses the stripe. Grant Killer in a time of 2:04.87. That's good enough for 29th position, and Grant Killer stringing together 2 good runs here. in his men's championship final. Jason Adams wearing bib 72 from the University of Virginia. Now on course, we see Adams. Making his way into the final 6 gates comes Jason Adams. He'll be followed by Jonathan Dumais from Lafayette. And now it's Jason Adams, the Cavalier, crossing in a 2:07.08, good enough for 32nd place. Now from the center part of the course into the lower third comes Jonathan Dumais. Lafayette College's Jonathan Dumais. He'll be followed by William Artrip from UVA.
Jonathan Dumais having no trouble at all here with the lighting, getting very flat light now across the bottom third, and the top third of this course could be masking any icy patches that have no doubt developed here, as many of these racers riding off some of that snow there and revealing some patches of ice.
Lafayette College's Jonathan Dumais in a time of 2:07.77. Now it's 2 Cavaliers in a row on course, William Artrip and Thomas Daly. As we see Artrip come into our picture here from UVA, he's wearing bib 68. He was 37th fastest after the first run this morning.
Looks like he ran into trouble there in that problem section right above that netting where the second jump of the panel slalom is. He came to a complete stop, but back on course now, and he will finish his second run.
Indeed he will. William Artrip from the University of Virginia across in 2:24.13. Now it's Thomas Daly, the Cavalier, into the final 3 gates. Here comes Thomas Daly as he tucks and tries to make his way through the last gate, and across the stripe comes Daly in a time of 2:13.15. 36th place for Tom Daly. Now it's the University of California at Long Beach. Shane Miller, he's on course wearing bib 13, the lucky 13. Gregory Renner from Air Force Academy is next, and Andrew Arnold awaits run number 2 from the top from Western State. 3 gates to go for Shane Miller from Long Beach. The University of California at Long Beach. Nice to see them here at the National Championships here in Sun Valley this year. Gregory Renner from the Air Force Academy, wearing bib number 51. He'll be the next to cross the stripe. Then it's Western State's Andrew Arnold. Gregory Renner from the Air Force Academy, flying high through the center section of this course, now dropping into the lower third. And Greg Renner making his way to completing run number 2 here in this men's USCSA National Championship GS. And it looks like Renner has crossed in a time of 2:26.83, good enough for the 40th slot. Andrew Arnold on course from Western State College in Colorado. The guru of Gunnison, they call him.
Of course, Andrew Arnold, the junior from Western State Colorado University, one of the many racers racing on club teams today. Of course, a theme throughout the week has been these club teams. Many times the athletes, of course, putting a lot of support into the team, doing a lot of the work, organizing and preparing for all the races. So not only tremendous athletes, but tremendous organizers as well. And these teams are really putting a lot of work just making it to every race, boss.
Andrew Arnold raising his hands across the finish line, as will Tom Letson from Sierra Nevada College in the bright blue, coming across in 2:13.02. A good 2-run combo for Tom Letson. Boy, I'll tell you what, Alex Beatty, the Sierra Nevada Eagles have got a snow sports program going on in Incline Village. Incredible performances from both the Alpine men and women. And now we see the snowboard program and the freestyle program coming great distances just in the last 12 months. They are certainly ones to look at in all of the disciplines here in the national championships.
Absolutely, boss. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Sierra Nevada definitely doing something right. They have been dominant this week, and I'm sure in the future they will continue to dominate as well.
Now it's Anthony Villarreal from Colorado. Check that. California State University, Sacramento. Anthony Villarreal. And Villarreal now across the stripe in 2:37.68. Marshall Kratzer from Western State University. He's on course wearing bib 22. He'll be followed by John Andrade from the University of Virginia, and awaiting his second run from the top start shack from Western State, it's Brian Meinert. And now it looks like going goofy and spinning all over the place in a ballet-style finish here in the final 4 gates. It's Marshall Kratzer having fun from Western State University, and Kratzer will spin across the line here. He did at least 17 360s in the final 4 gates, and Kratzer is going to win the 360 award as he falls and breaks up here in the final 5 feet of the finish corral. So just when he was on the hero run, he slips out. Now he's all tangled up in the fence. Meanwhile, John Andrade from the University of Virginia, the Cavalier in the optic pink, takes his helmet off, raises his arm, and he is just glad to be finished with 2 runs here at the men's GS. Congratulations to the Cavalier John Andrade with a combined time of 2:16.73.
And you know, boss, you can tell these racers are having a great time. These are slope style specialists, big mountain specialists, border cross racers. They are just loving the need for speed here on this run, and they're letting it all hang out, and it's great to watch them have a ball.
Well, you know, it is a lot more difficult, Alex, to ride a snowboard as fast as you can, just kind of in the direction it takes you. It's when you have to go between red and blue gates that things change mighty quickly, especially when you got to put an edge in. And look who's come across now, Brian Minard from Western State, Colorado, with his hands in the air. He, too, has completed his men's national championship snowboard competition. And what a great week for all the boys over at Western State College. Gunnison well represented here today. If you've never had a chance to go out to Gunnison, you need to, because it is a great place to ski. Now, it looked like that Minard just skied by, and Minard is wearing a T-shirt here in the men's finals. He could care less if he's freezing. He wants a suntan, and it looks like he's got it. Now throwing style across the finish line. It's Western State's Tyler Patterson, 235.12. Definitely gets the style points on the finish award today. Tyler Patterson. Now it's Joshua Fasulo from the University of California, Long Beach. Fasulo making his way out of the center section into the lower third. He'll be followed by Stevens Institute of Technology's Chad Stimson, and now Appalachian State mountaineer Martin Charles awaiting his second run from the start shaft. Great fun here in Sun Valley, Idaho. Folks, we couldn't have asked for a better day. They just dialed it up for us. We called up Marshall McGinnis and said, hey, we need some sun here on this Saturday. And he said, yes, sirree, boss, you'll get it. And he didn't mess around in delivering. As Joshua Fasulo from the University of California, Long Beach, he crosses the stripe in 2:57.18. Now a good run from Stevens Institute of Technology's Chad Stimson, as we see Stimson making good coordinated turns here into the final 4 gates. He's carrying some speed into the lower part of the court. Let's see if SIT's Chad Stimson can hit the stripe. He does in a time of 2:38.15. So a good run for Chad Stimson. And Stimson blasting through the finish corral here. Let's hope the spectators are okay. We'll have to penalize Stimson and give him some type of Boss Hog ticket for blasting through the finish corral. Maybe he'll have to come over and mow Boss Hog's yard as a result of this infraction. I do have a filthy car too. Perhaps you could wash and wax that. That'll be good. Or we could just steal all his clothes and make him walk to the banquet tonight in his underwear. That might be fun too.
This would be the day to do it, boss. Just warm temperatures, clear skies. It's a beautiful day here at Sun Valley.
Martin Charles from Appalachian State University across the stripe and really doing a great job moving up from way back in the pack. And Martin Charles fast enough for 17th position, so it looks like Charles may hang on to a top 20 slot here if nothing changes with a time of 1:57.64. Now it's Western State's Alex Wakenight. Wakenight throwing some big tricks in the Big Air Thursday night over at Dollar Mountain here in Sun Valley. Everybody quite impressed. Of course, the Big Air competition won by, a guy, I guess, from the University of Virginia, or was it Virginia or Liberty? It might have been Liberty College or Liberty University. It was Liberty University. Look who's coming across now. Alex Wakenight from Western State. Hands in the air, and Wakenight, he completes his second run here in the Men's GS Championship. A great week of competition for Alex Wakenight, and he finishes up strong here in the finish corral on the Greyhawk Trail.
Looks like he took an unconventional line there, boss. We'll have to go to the gatekeepers to see exactly what they thought of Alex Wakenknight's run, but he is across the line, and that will be the end for Alex Wakenknight.
A great competition here. That's going to do it. All of the racers are down. Congratulations to all of the men and the women here in the Snowboard GS Final from the beautiful Warm Springs base area in Sun Valley, Idaho. Let's run down your champion now. Of course, finishing in first from the University of Idaho, it is Robert Burns. Burns followed by Thomas Graham in the second slot from Westminster College. Then it's Sierra Nevada's Austin Leal in third. Sam Rain from the Air Force Academy in fourth. And rounding out your top five here in the men's championship final for the Snowboard GS from the University of California, San Diego, it's Gabe Maines. Well, Mr. Beatty, 25 hours of broadcasting, and we are still here. We made it. Although I will tell you, I've done this a long time. This might have been the longest day on the microphone I've had. We got started at 9 o'clock Mountain Time here. That's 11 o'clock Eastern Time. And if I look at my watch, it is about 4:25 in the afternoon. In fact, it's 4:20 in the afternoon here in Sun Valley, Idaho. A perfect time for us to stop. And I'll tell you what, guys, we have had an absolute fantastic time here in Sun Valley. Just incredible action. You know, some of the final thoughts I have about the USCSA National Championships are real simple. This is where kids get together who have worked hard all year long in all of these disciplines. And although ski racers train differently than snowboarders who train differently than Nordic athletes, they all train hard. They train long, they sacrifice a lot, and it is great to see them all come together with the camaraderie, with the athletic competition, with the passion and the drive that these folks come here to our national championships and give us a show like no other. I don't think I can find a better way to spend 7 days of my life than coming to a USCSA Nationals. I love it every year, and it has been an absolute pleasure to be with you this entire week.
Well, thank you, boss. I appreciate that. It's been great to be here, and there's really nothing like it. The USCSA National Championships, just no better event in all of collegiate snow sports to see athletes work hard, train hard, ski hard, and play hard. These athletes have had a great week, and my hat goes off to all of them. Tremendous competitors, fantastic athletes, and it's been a pleasure to watch them race.
All the folks here at Sun Valley, Idaho, too, have done nothing but an excellent job in helping us manage what is truly a monumental effort here. We have, of course, 3 different complete venues taking place, a competition, national championship competition taking place simultaneously every single day of the week. And none of the venues are next to each other. They're all spread out here over the Wood River Valley. And the help that we have gotten from the great staff here at Sun Valley Resort is absolutely fantastic. Led by Marshall McGinnis, Bert has helped us, Mr. Tim Silva, the general manager of the resort, everybody really working together to give us everything we needed to pull off, which is truly a difficult task. I was talking to somebody the other day and I said, what other national governing body puts on a national championships that has 7 events going on every single day for 5 consecutive days? Typically there's a ski championship or there's a Nordic championship, but we do all of the championships simultaneously inside the same resort, and it takes help from a lot of people, including the mountain here, and they have done nothing but a tremendous job for the USCSA here at Sun Valley. I can just hope we'll be back in 2 years when we make the West Coast swing again, and if the weather is indicative of what they have here in Idaho, heck, I might get here before next 2 years from now, no doubt about it. Let's thank our sponsors, too. The 2013 USCSA National Championships are brought to you in part by Patagonia. Their mission to build the best product, cause no unnecessary harm, and to use business to inspire and implement solutions to the environmental crisis. Learn more at Patagonia.com. Patagonia, proud supporters of the USCSA. And by Reliable Racing. Whether it's Alpine and Nordic ski racing apparel and equipment, hill and event supplies, sports timing equipment, or hard-to-find race gear, Reliable Racing is your one-stop shop. Check them out on the web at ReliableRacing.com. And by Hurricane Racing. When it's custom team Alpine, Nordic, or cycling race apparel you seek, Hurricane Racing delivers. Demand the very best in custom printed ski suits, jackets, pants, and race apparel. Demand Hurricane Racing at HurricaneRacing.com, official sponsors of the 2013 USCSA National Championships. and by Twitchell Sportswear, the home of Yeti apparel. Boss wears Yeti when you're facing truly abominable weather. The Yeti has you covered. Check out their complete collection at twitchellsportswear.com. Proud supporters of the USCSA. One final broadcast tonight, starting at 7:30 p.m. Mountain Time, 9:30 back in the East. We are going to set up a camera. There won't be any commentary, but it is our annual USCSA Awards Banquet. We hand out the real hardware, the team hardware, the All-American academic hardware, and more importantly, you get to see all of the skiers, the Nordic racers, and the snowboarders all dressed up in their finest clothes. We're just going to set a camera up because there's a lot of folks out there, moms, dads, grandparents, aunts, and uncles, all of the people who make this possible for their kids and their friends and their grandkids. We want to be able to share a special night, the big party. We have it every single year at the end of Nationals here at USCSA, and we're going to bring that to you live here on the USCSA Broadcast Network. All starts at 7:30 p.m. Right here at www.uscsa.com. That's going to do it for me. I want to thank all of the folks here at the USCSA who make this possible, including our entire broadcast team. Different cameramen every day volunteering to sit on the top of a hot roof, to walk up and down a hill, to crawl in the snow. It is truly a great effort, and I can't thank enough all of the folks that have made this happen. Most importantly, our studio director here from the College of Idaho came down on short notice and has done an absolutely tremendous job for us on the USCSA Broadcast Network. My thanks to Mr. Alan Price, our studio director. I'm sure you will see him again in the USCSA system. And also to you, Mr. Alex Beatty, a great job all week long. It has truly been a pleasure to broadcast with you. I have thoroughly enjoyed it. Can't wait to do it again next year. And folks, get on out to a national championships. If you're anywhere close to one of these venues, you will see some of the most exciting competition in snow sports you'll ever see. On a glorious afternoon, a Saturday here in the Wood River Valley, that's going to do it for me too. And on behalf of all of us, this is Boss Hogg saying so long, everybody.
Let the world gather round. Say, what have you just found? Is it something I could drown in the water? Why ask if you tell? Why ask if you tell? Why ask if you tell? Grown child with a loaded gun. stand and fight them.